This should be illegal.
Why you didn't use protection? I got a message from a guy. I pray you baby. I'm really sensitive person. I also cried a few times. I just want to protect my baby.
Listen, I don't usually like to make fun of people that are quite obviously mentally challenged, but there are exceptions.
I'm Jessie Bunny. I'm 24 years old.
I'm Vienna. I'm 25 years old.
And we're gonna have a baby really soon.
On second thought, it's easier to just call it healthy criticism. I'm not making fun of the mentally unwell, but if you willingly put yourself on the internet in some D-rate YouTube series called Love Don't Judge, you're absolutely on the ticket for some healthy criticism. Also, love might not judge, but I certainly do. And for the sake of overdoing it, this is the last time I'll use the switch to BCAM punchline.
We're a couple since almost 8 years already,
okay.
So it's like a youth laugh, I would say.
Congratulations, that's very exciting. Having a baby is wow. And I don't want to speak out of turn here, but have you considered not doing that? For the sake of the child, of course. Just thinking downstream here. Maybe just drop it at a fire station, or I don't know, travel to Mordor and throw it into Mount Doom. Truly anything but whatever the fuck is going on here is maybe a better alternative.
It's our nursery. Please ignore the pole dance pole. I was 17 when we met, so there was not a lot of dating before.
Jessie's my first girlfriend and hope to last.
Aww.
Oh man, can we just run that back one time with some enhanced sound effects, please? Woo! Those lips hit different, don't they? One more time. That is the ticket. Listen, can I just say that Vienna's lips, like the Sistine Chapel of lip injections, awe-inspiring, perfect in every way, not even a little bit overdone to the point of making me want to pour hydrochloric acid and goat piss into my corneas. Standing ovation to whatever surgeon sculpted that eighth wonder of the world. We'd love to see it. Understand, I don't typically advocate for poking fun at people's physical appearance unless it's self-induced and that ridiculous, in which case all bets are kind of off at that point.
We met without so we both have been flat. Vienna was not transitioned to this time, and I had a double A cup. He's baby number one.
I figured out
Always the small dogs.
during COVID that I am trans.
One day Vienna said like, hey, she's not feeling happy. And then she came out as trans, and then everything went really quick.
And certainly they're very happy now, right? They must be. Or at least have one more lip injection. That's where happiness is. Always beyond the next lip injection.
Half a year, you've been a completely new person.
And yeah, since then we are even happier than before.
We don't have that much time left. 6 weeks more to go. I'm really excited. I always wanted to become a young mom. I always wanted to have kids, so I was really happy.
Kids are the perfect fashion accessory for Instagram, aren't they? I mean, after you get 350 boob augmentations and they just get so big that that kind of newness wears off, what's the next step? Just have a kid. Maybe you can do boob augmentations on the kid. Instagram would probably like that. Would fit right into the aesthetic.
When I got pregnant really quick, I think this little beer hat is so cute.
I think it's bear.
Ah, bear. Yeah, not beer.
On a real note for a moment, I can't predict the future. And I'm not saying they aren't going to love that baby. Of course, I'm sure that they will. But raising a child to be well-adjusted in this world is a tall order, and we're already at a disadvantage for obvious reasons. And when wearing your little baby on your arm like a new fashion accessory to farm Instagram likes stops filling the void and the duties of real parenting begin to beckon, Lord have mercy on that child.
I would love to have like 3 or 4 kids, but let's see how the
Well, we
first
start
one's
with
going.
one, see how that goes.
I'm looking forward. I know we look different than other people, but we're a completely usual
Fair.
couple. We're in a relationship since almost 8 years. It was just a question of time. Well, our family reacted really good that we're gonna have a baby. It's the first grandbaby on all the sides of the family.
So if you've been around a while, this may feel more like an old school Leon Lush video where I was maybe a little bit more brash back in the day, right? Now, honestly, I try to be open-minded, which is not always easy these days. And I'm doing my best, but how can anyone take you seriously with those blistering pus sacks where your fucking face is supposed to be? What the fuck is going on, dude? I'm an advocate for free will, and you can do to your lips what you want, But this show, Love Don't Judge, has been around for a while, and it's really just a vehicle to try and like normalize body dysmorphia, I think. And people might call you cruel when you criticize stuff like this these days. It's very like progressive, and we have to love everyone for how they are and what they want to do, and that's one way to think about it. But I really honestly, I think it's cruel to try and pretend like this is normal. Right? I think it's even more cruel to try and allow publications like this to try to make this seem like some normal avenue in life, that for people struggling, they're gonna, go to these extremes and find happiness on the other side of it, which she tried to allude to in the beginning.
The only hate and harmful comments we got have been online.
Sounds about right.
Are you pregnant in your stomach or your chest?
Why you didn't use protection? Baby went upstairs. Poor baby, how will it accept you as a mom?
I am actually curious if this is a biological baby between these two, or if this was some sort of IVF procedure or something. I'm sure we won't find out, but...
You desperately need to to fix your cheeks. They are gross looking, like cottage cheese. Should have fixed the before getting pregnant. The body is changing, and that's okay.
I don't think it's something you should...
I mean, aside from just the massive breast augmentations, she seems like a relatively normal pregnant lady. I don't know why she's getting all the hate online. It's just...
is writing a pregnant woman to getting her fixed.
Then we also have some friendly comments like, looking good mama, the most attractive you have ever been.
Oh.
That's comments that makes me happy.
Those are nice. She's not unattractive. I find it weird that the only comments they're getting are about the pregnant chick. I mean, certainly she's less remarkable than Lips McGillicuddy sitting right next to her. You know what? I'm sure YouTube comments will fix that for us. I'm judging the doctor that did the lips, period. I really wanted to watch this, but I'm not kidding. The lips are making me nauseous. That's a little more what I was expecting.
I think I will have a more gentle parenting style. Honestly, I just want to be a loving mom, follow with the emotions, help with the emotions, and just give the kids support.
Yeah, I also think the same. I think it's important for me to give the child room for self-development. I wouldn't force my child getting plastic surgeries.
No, they should just go their way and find their way in life.
Why the fuck is that even on the radar? This baby hasn't even been birthed into this cruel world yet. And your idea of good parenting is not forcing your child to get plastic surgery? What is that? How's that even? What? Put the scissors down or I swear to God I'll pump another 5 cc's into each one of your rebellious little lips. But Mom, I think you said you wouldn't make me get lip injections. I'm only 5 years old. I don't care what I said, Billy. You're not listening, and I want you to know what true happiness feels like, so you'll stop rebelling. No, Dad, Mom, no.
Something that's really important for me is that my child becomes a good human, that
yes,
it's a kind person, a caring person, and a person with an open heart.
You're gonna be a really great mom.
Thank you, you too.
I personally like to share my pregnancy journey, but I don't wanna share any details about my baby. That's gonna stay private.
By golly, that is definitely the most reasonable thing I've heard so far in this video. Kudos to them. Hope you keep that energy into the child's life after it's born as well.
Because unfortunately, we get a lot of online harassment.
That's right.
We also got really disgusting comments about refuse or unborn child.
Yeah, I got
What?
so many messages
What was
when
it?
I know.
About refuse or unborn child.
Yeah, I got so
Not sure what she's saying there, but if it's similar to the Mordor joke I made earlier, I must admit that may have been a bit off-colored, okay? Any joke with the Lord of the Ring reference is automatically kind of funny, though. I don't make the rules.
Yeah, I got so many messages when I announced I'm pregnant. One time, I got a message from a guy. I pray your baby so I can make you pregnant after.
Okay, that's
It
just
was
uncalled
so
for.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I just want to protect my baby from all these internet
Weirdos.
creeps, I have to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
unfortunately. People always comment like, oh, your baby is gonna have problems during pregnancy with your and I was really worried about that, honestly.
Wait, why? Not for nothing, but I don't think the baby cares how many cc's you're carrying around in those sweater cows. unrelated to the healthiness of the pregnancy. Just eat a reasonable diet and, avoid alcohol and meth, and the baby's probably going to be just fine.
I told my doctor about this, and she just lost and told me, no, we don't need to worry about that. In online generally, they know everything better, even they're not.
I watched a YouTube video and now I'm an expert on plastic surgery. This should be illegal. I understand if it would be a health risk, everything, but as long as it is just me wishing for my body how to look, I don't think it should be illegal.
Illegal? No, absolutely. I mean, no. You're fucking yourself up. That's really it. Nobody's getting hurt. Doctors are making money. I don't think it should be normalized, however, and certainly it's worthy of criticism, by all means, but it would be silly to make it illegal.
Every time people start talking to us, they figure out that even if we look extreme, we are a lovely couple.
I think that's more like an online thing, or people who just know us from online, that they just see how we look like, and of course, because of that, they judge us.
So I imagine part of the reason they did this video is to promote. Oh my God, I made a mistake of checking the Instagrams. Oh my Christ. Like I was withholding 100% of my judgment from this particular video, but now as I'm scrolling the Instagram, I am no longer withholding that. That is sick. Oh, Jessie Bunny has 415,000 followers. Okay, a lot of the same pregnancy photos. Like, she's clearly, I mean, are they adult actresses? I don't, Linktree, let me guess. OF? Is there an OF involved? It's always a pipeline to the OF, isn't it? My VIP? Okay. Yeah, this kid's fucked. I mean, there's clearly a reason that these two ended up together. They've been together for a while. They're probably a lovely couple, But when you go to such visually jarring extremes to fill some sort of void that lives inside of you, I mean, don't be surprised when you get put through the ringer, especially when you're living your life online and purposely trying to bring traffic to whatever the fuck it is you're doing because you're selling adult content, I guess. And you're willingly putting yourself into online publications that are meant to highlight the most absurd shit imaginable, like love, don't judge. So spare me the whole, like, I'm so sensitive and ooh, the mean comment, blah. It's like you could just log off if you wanted to. But then to make it more complicated, you bring a child into it, and obviously people with any sort of respect for traditional family values are going to see some giant red flags, and those types of people typically can't help but comment, especially on Instagram, and oftentimes they're not very nice. Are you bad people though? Probably not. Maybe a little bit misguided. Who knows? There's all types of people in this world. Mentally malnourished, perhaps, but lovely couple? Sure, maybe. But is this an ideal scenario for a child to be raised in? No, probably not. I doubt it. But then again, what exactly is the ideal scenario for a child to be raised in? I suppose that begs a lot of questions that I will not answer now, but there's probably worse situations, that's for sure.
100 positive, friendly comments, and then you can have 2 bad, mean comments, and then you're just focusing on the bad and mean comments. Some people just want to get rid of their own frustration. I'm really sensitive person.
I don't know about that.
And sometimes it's really hard. I also cried a few times because of comments. So I try to focus
just turn the comments off, dude.
Positive comments.
And for me, like,
you don't have to read that shit.
Bad comments are mostly funny because, for example, they call me like the fish that is cleaning the windows, and I think that's really so cute. I like the fish. Or also call me a duck.
Pretty good.
I like ducks, and so
a duck is being
really
generous.
Insulting for me. People think it's okay to attack us because of our plastic look, and I think that's a problem. These hate comments also in the long term made us stronger in our relationship.
People always ask me if I got too far. I know I look extreme, but
what the fuck? Hold on, pause. I just scratched what the dialogue's going on for a second. What the hell was that?
If I got too far, I know I look. People
Jarvis,
always ask
enhance.
me if I got too far.
God damn, she's lucky she didn't get that nose sucked off into a fucking void, man. One more time with some ripping sound effects. Anyways,
look at me.
Continue.
What extreme features do I have right now?
That's it, yeah.
Who just say that's okay and that's extreme? That's something a person needs to define for themselves. I like how it makes me look, but it's not that I couldn't live without the big. I'm not living for everybody, I'm living for myself.
I think
What?
I'm not too extreme. I want to go even more extreme. And I
Really?
think...
You think you're not too extreme. You want to go even more extreme. Yeah, that's just straight up called body dysmorphia. That's like you have a disorder. And I'm happy that you found love, but I'm not going to be one of these people that's like, oh yes, queen, like celebrate diversity and do it. No, you're mentally fucked, and I feel bad for you, and I hope that you can find help because, I mean, whatever, you're just cooked. That's all there is to it. What you think is a search for happiness is just your disorder continuing to manifest physically.
What I really like about getting plastic surgery is that gives me the opportunity to change my body into shapes that wouldn't be possible like 50 years ago. And so I can become the person I want to be and don't have to rely on like genetics or anything like that.
What the fuck are you even saying right
Honestly,
now,
I
dude?
think I wouldn't have started the whole transition process. Her support was like everything for me. And I wouldn't have any. So that's something that changed so much for me.
Yeah.
And also I think you made me a better person, so
Beautiful.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're like my best friend.
Oh.
And we do everything together. And are
This is
so
a
not
lot.
annoyed of each other.
It is a lot to look at those lips for 8 minutes, dude. I'm telling you, I'm getting like, my pupils are getting sore.
We have a lot of people who judge us. They should look at themselves, because I really think that every person has something that they want to change on themselves or that makes them unhappy. And just because we change
Sure,
these things
within
doesn't
reason.
make us bad persons. People who are judging my mommy are evil and they should leave. That's his opinion.
There's a difference between being a bad person and being somebody that could maybe use some sort of intervention or psychotherapy. But you are right. We all typically have something about ourselves that we would love to change. And that's just a normal part of the human condition. It's a little less innocuous and severe as this, and hopefully maybe in a different direction, but can't argue with that point. So I am a little curious, the boomer in me, seeing as they've been together for a while, and since before this transition happened, I think, were they a lesbian couple previously that now identifies as a straight couple? I don't like to use labels. I'm just getting curious in my old age, you know?
People who are judging my mommy are evil and they should leave.
A little brash, maybe, I understand, but I don't wish ill will on people, you know? People like this, they aren't hurting anyone but themselves, and I have more empathy than disdain, because they're clearly struggling with something internal, maybe more than the average person, in a way that manifests itself physically in such a visually jarring fashion, and their need and desperation for whatever they're doing on Instagram for kind of positive reinforcement, and maybe they're monetizing it. The whole thing's kind of a postmodern slop fest, but I'm also not going to pretend like this is normal or should be celebrated, as programs like Love Don't Judge seemingly love to do. They're like a vehicle for the normalization of the fucking weird and obscure. Or more likely, they're just exploiting people like this to grow their channel. But it's mutual exploitation, because these two are probably trying to grow their Instagrams at the same time. There's definitely a cohort of people that would say it's cruel to criticize their choices. We must love everyone equally in the name of progress, but on the contrary, I think it's cruel to validate and cheer on people that are indulging in such ludicrosity and passing it off as one of life's beautiful journeys. Just a search for happiness. No. Ultimately, I'll forget about them tomorrow and it doesn't affect my life even a little bit, but I will pour one out for that little baby next time I fill my whiskey glass, in hopes they find a bit of well-adjusted normalcy in the middle of whatever the fuck will be going on in that home during their formative years. Thanks for joining me. Go ahead and give your eyes a break now. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you hip thrust that motherfucking like button and subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you. Peace.